The true aim is to recover the common ground that enables all people of good faith to thrive in community. My friends, circumstances may arise where we must contend with individuals behaving unscrupulously or even maliciously. When confronting villainy, tensions understandably emerge around whether to defeat such adversaries fully or attempt reconciliation through common understanding. As the Stoic philosopher seeks virtue, including justice and compassion, the question becomes how one engages wrongdoers ethically to better transform conflict without compromising principles or rational discourse vital for society's health. Tip 1. Seek first to understand their interests and incentives. Approach without assumptions. As Marcus Aurelius advised, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. When confronting seemingly villainous behaviors, refrain from quick judgment. Rather, pause and objectively analyze the roots of the perceived transgressions. Could insecurity drive them to appear strong? Does scarcity underlie their stance? Might distorted experience explain their conclusions? Or misplaced beliefs direct intentions astray? By withholding assumptions, we may discover their motivations differ greatly from appearances. Individuals often have coherent logic given their unique background perspectives. Seek the reasoning firsthand where possible. Ask thoughtful questions with empathy and allow them space to articulate their reasoning. The facts under debate may be shared, but their interpretation and assigned importance vary. Meet them on common ground before attempting change. Understanding must precede any improvement in relations from the division of partial truths. Tip 2. Appeal to virtue and the common good rather than selfish aims. Frame solutions as ethical and mutually beneficial. When engaging with difficult people, appeal first to principles rather than personalities. Seek not to best opponents, but to uplift all through ethical solutions benefiting the broader community. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The mind in harmony with virtue is like a fortified city. Unity grounded in justice withstands division. Propose satisfying their needs through moral means. If greed or pride seem to motivate them, awaken their reason to nobler aspirations aligned with the public interest. If ideology isolates them, offer inclusive appeals for shared welfare. If anger drives them, call to mind mercy and conflict resolution. There are always ethical alternatives if we broaden our perspective appropriately. Be willing to sacrifice short-term self-interest for long-term communal gains. Compromise on rights if necessary, but not on virtue. Frame options through positive language that expands possibilities rather than hostile rhetoric that constrains space for cooperation. Ask leading questions on applying ethical calculations toward progress. The true aim is to conciliate a shared understanding of not just policies, but also the principles and rational discourse vital for a just society to thrive harmoniously. We cannot productively debate those refusing to interface based on reason and compassion, but the virtuous persistently call to humanity's better angels. Tip 3. Speak with wisdom, integrity, and compassion. Do not succumb to harmful tactics, even if they are opposed unethically. When engaging in opposition, we must hold firmly to wisdom, integrity, and compassion, the hallmarks of virtue, even amidst ethical transgressions against us. As Marcus Aurelius cautioned, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. To descend to malicious tactics, even in response to the same, relinquishes the moral high ground. Speak plainly and evidentially on matters of disagreement, but refrain from dishonesty or manipulation. Maintain respect even while critiquing positions. Question the reasoning, not the character behind it. Debate issues sincerely without making debate itself the enemy. Offer concessions and conciliations where possible to demonstrate good faith efforts at understanding, if not always agreement, but firmly refute intentional distortions with facts focused on principles, not people. Lies thrive amidst toxic emotions but wither in the light of truth reasonably delivered. Finally, recall the humanity in those who have lost their way. Critica the moral error, but forgive the person should they harbor hatred. Stay ever ready to guide them back to wisdom applied compassionately to the complex problems we all face. 3 keys: truthfulness, integrity, and mercy. Turn enemies into neighbors. Tip 4. Aim not to defeat adversaries, but to turn them to the good through reason and example. Progress often requires reconciliation. The Stoics understand that overpowering opponents rarely resolves root conflicts. Lasting peace requires turning adversaries into partners through ethical leadership, consistently modeling integrity we wish others would embody. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." True living arises in reconciliation. Seek not foremost to coerce opponents into reluctant surrender, but to transform their perspectives through awakening conscience and reason. Progress follows from illuminating higher common ground, which makes division seem petty. Find shared hopes and values to expand solutions, satisfying all interests justly. Be the first to listen earnestly, apologize sincerely, and forgive readily. Leave room for empathy while critiquing the actions, not the person. Offer multiple chances to make amends and choose unity, not differences. And if divisions persist today, carry hope for change tomorrow as more hearts stir toward wisdom. Condemn cruel deeds, but not souls irredeemably. Believe in redemption. Those acting vilely often mirror vile treatment once received. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light and love can lift out hatred in the fullness of time. Where there is humanity, there is hope. Tip 5. Accept that which you cannot change. Control only your reasoned responses. Serenity comes from upholding justice while detaching from results. Finally, recognize the limits of one's control when engaging villains. As the Serenity prayer counsels, have courage to change what can be changed, but equally accept what cannot be changed. Outcomes depend on factors outside of self-determination. Detach your ego from results while maintaining effort. Focus solely on that which lies within your authority, upholding reason, virtue, and wisdom in trying times. When encountered by irrational cruelty, remain rational through disciplined habits. Refuse reactionary escalation. Instead, reaffirm ethical standards calmly and repeatedly, by words and example. Model integrity radically. Maintaining equanimity permits perceiving situations clearly to know what portions one can and cannot influence reasonably. Control judgments and choose responding by rules of conscience rather than reflexive emotions. But once your reasoned part is fulfilled with courage and prudence, the ultimate outcomes rest on other hands and hearts. While ceaselessly hoping and working for progress, accept limitations peacefully to avoid compound folly. As Reinhold Niebuhr's maxim goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Therein lies tranquility. Friends, in engaging with villains, first seek to understand them before judging. Appeal to ethical solutions benefiting all. Speak truth with compassion. Aim to turn opponents to the good, and accept what lies beyond control. Apply such principles, and we may transform even enemies into partners. Don't forget to give us a like and be sure to subscribe to our channel.